All right, guys, Mike here with the watch list video for Monday, October 20th. Ever since we had this nasty day in the market right here, really been chopping around straight sideways ever since. So a couple of highlights. I always like to give some hat tips. Hang on a second. Just to highlight a couple of good calls from the last session. GWH, I actually mentioned this one over the mic. Go to 5-minute candles. Mentioned it just over this early high, which was 542. So the trigger 543. You had the pre-market highs above. You had the previous day's high above. And anyway, you can see what it did. Even in a week tape, it went to 668. Really nice percentage gain. And then Miguel with the afternoon call of the day for sure. Actually, he had a couple of them. But NUAI was one. A very late day call. So if you hung out, right, he called it through 4. It had topped out at 4 right back here. Had a nice daily with catalysts above. If it broke 4, and in what, 5, 10, 15 minutes, went up 471 from the 4 break. That was a great call. And he also gave us, Miguel also gave us ATAI through 6, I believe, right here. And it ended up going to, I don't know, 655, but the stop was pretty darn tight. The stop was like a dime away. It never stopped out and had a really nice climb. So hat tip and thank you to Miguel for both of those. And great teamwork again on Friday. I'm going to go right into what we're watching to possibly trade on Monday. ACHV, nice volume, closing off the highs, but that horizontal line there is kind of like a possible breakout area on the chart. So we'll see if it gives a setup tomorrow. SPAI, also a very strong day with a recent high not that far above, right? That 916 high. So anytime they have a chart catalyst above after a big volume day, they become interesting to me. NUAI, I already talked about Miguel's great call. Very strong close. That thing's been on fire. It's got to go on our watch list. ATAI, also a nice pop, went out near the highs. RANI was a serial halter on Friday, and you all know how I feel about the halt rule, and it closed way off its highs, but massive volume. I'm going to see what it's doing in the morning, see if it gives a possible setup. Back to some of these rare earths. CRML did bounce on Friday. It could continue on Monday. USAR, kind of the same thing. I want to watch those. IRBT, after this big pop on a turnaround plan, was sort of the headline on what that would have been Wednesday, right? Then you had a couple red days on declining volume. So could be ready to turn back up. I'm going to treat it as a potential bounce play. UAMY also goes back on bounce watch. LAC on bounce watch. A lot of these are rare earth related. SANA, I kind of like this one a lot. You know, I had the big pop on Eric Jackson's tweet here. And now you've got 2 red days on declining volume. That's a pretty decent setup for a turn back up. We'll see if we get one. IONQ, just 4 days in a row down into near where it previously bounced before. Could give a bounce play. ONDS, drone play, also kind of has a similar setup to IONQ. Could give a bounce play. Fuel cell, same thing. FCEL. And then Poet. I like all of those for, especially if the market shows some strength. All of those have been recently strong stocks that have come down straight, right, for 3 or 4 days. Generally a good setup for a potential bounce. That's it for me. I'll see you guys in the pre-market. We'll add some gappers to this list. Have a great night.